everyone, welcome back to VTTV. I'm Madeline Schubert.
I'm Nick Chericillo.
And today we have a special guest.
Hi everybody, I am Lukas Swartmalger, official name Lucas Majors Pickett, also known as Noah Kant or the Noah Kahan of Blacksburg.
And when did you first get started?
You mean as Noah Kahan or just in singing in general?
Yes, noticed and started all of your Noah Kahan.
Okay. During the pandemic, I was more or less home alone and I stopped shaving. And then when the pandemic was mostly over, I started going out to the bars again, and unshaven, of course. And by that point, I went back to Top of the Stairs, where I'd been basically singing on Tuesday nights regularly for about 11 years. And people said, "Hey, you look like Noah Kahan." And my question was to them, who's Noah Kahan? So I eventually looked him up and found out that he was kind of like the Vermont's answer to a combination of Ed Sheeran and that bloke from Mumford & Sons, while singing songs about depression, and northern New England instead of the Florida-Georgia line, except in the guise of like country folk music. Mm-hmm. And then I eventually learned one of Noah Kahan's songs, Stick Season, because by that point I was in Plum Crazy Purple, and we thought, well, I already look like him, so why not? And it's easy enough to learn. And then when I was out at Top of the Stairs on one Tuesday evening, I was in a bathroom, and one of the guys who recognized me decided to make a video where I was leaning against a wall singing part of Stick Season's chorus, and not even the best version of it. And it got about 6 million views and 1 million likes, and was reposted by Noah Kahan himself. And all of a sudden people were messaging me on Facebook saying, "Hey, is this you? You're famous." And I had no clue about any of it because I didn't have a TikTok account. So I asked them, should I get a TikTok account? And they were like, yes. Yesterday. And I eventually did, and I'm still in the process of catching up with all the videos that have been made about me. But all from that one video, people started recognizing me and came up to me and started asking me in public if I could sing for them or take selfies with them. And I think just the more that happened, the more people kept gravitating towards this. And it's been very surreal. All of this happened in late January.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what do you think about being the Blacksburg icon?
It's an honor, it's a privilege, it's a little bit surreal, and I'm still wrapping my head around it every single day. But it is really, really awesome to be recognized like this. It is very fun. And I'm really lucky that I get to be associated with somebody who seems to be legitimately a very good person, and also speaks to the plight and particular emotions that crave to be validated by a very significant number of people under the age of 25, if not some older too.
Very nice.
You said you were singing for 11 years before getting recognized as Noah Kahan. What kind of like gave you that love of singing?
I don't know. I've just always liked singing, and especially karaoke, because it's kind of one of those things where, like, if you don't do very well, it just kind of gets lost in the corridors of time. Chrono Trigger reference right there. If you succeed, you succeed. If not, like, it's you can toss it away and kind of forget about it. By having a place where I could do that, I could suck until I sucked less. And I do legitimately enjoy listening to music of my own particular preference, and to be able to feel validated by that. I would love to be able to give back in some way to everybody else in the way that I have been validated through collections of sound and different patterns that have been made to decorate the passage of time.
What is your favorite thing about being in a band that plays live music?
That I get to be tangible in front of people while also telling stories in a way and giving them something that's entertaining for them to do live, that doesn't involve being on your phone, which is a problem that I have as well. The ability to feel something organic, and even with all of the wires and the electrical pickups and such, it's still feels more organic than 15-second clips on a social media platform. Although I'm really glad that those exist, because for some reason I never got the same traction in this community before TikTok started making me viral. What I love about music is I think it's something very important to the human experience that transcends even writing, although that's absolutely indispensable for civilization itself, because it allows us a mnemonic device. The catchiness of a tune, knowing exactly how many syllables fit in, so you know exactly which words go where, and with a rhyme scheme or an alliteration scheme, it gives you an idea of what information is supposed to fit where. And throughout human history, before the advent of writing, or in cultures that didn't have writing until much later, people would pass down information by memorizing it with lots of different mnemonic devices, and singing is one of those. And it's a way of selling important information to a group of people under the guise of having fun. And with a little bit of math involved. A lot of it is binary, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. And it's very interesting to see how you can retain a lot of information that way. I mean, it might not be as efficient a process as getting things down in writing and such, but it's a way of getting it in people's brains so that so it's not something that they just read about once and then forget, but something that they retain in their head and carry with them for the rest of their lives, or at least for a significant period of time.
That's awesome.
And I do believe that there's a good amount of that in regards to how we still remember nursery rhymes from when we were little rhymes that we're not even sure why we understand them, but for some reason we still do. And I think songs are, modern songs or ancient songs are just that same tradition of being able to pass on information that has value, even when we're not quite sure why it has value, but we know it's significant in some way.
Being in Virginia your whole life, how does it feel that now you are you're one of almost a community icon, Blacksburg? It's absolutely an honor, and it is really it's quite a privilege to be associated heavily with this place, to the extent that people would, even if it's just a handful of people who would claim that they want to see me if they show up to this jurisdiction. And I would say it's kind of a tradition, kind of a long tradition of doing that. When I went to Italy about 20 years ago for a short tour, how many people really know about Verona in northern Italy if it weren't for Romeo and Juliet? It gives some people a reason to visit a place that they otherwise would not. One of the reasons that I like Steven Spielberg and, say, the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind, even though I don't watch it regularly, is that it was basically an advertisement for Devil's Tower National Monument in Wyoming, because the climax of the movie is set there when the guy has a premonition that the aliens are going to land there, and his whole road trip is getting there to be picked up by a mothership. But that's one of the reasons that I've ever visited that place, even though it is really majestic. Or the reason that I would ever want to go to Minneapolis is because Prince is from there. I had no inclination to really visit there before that. By the way, happy Halloween, everybody. Or the way I love Slipknot. Slipknot's from Des Moines, Iowa. How many people really want to go to Des Moines, Iowa if they're not already from there, unless they're part of the administration of the state of Iowa, or they're really big fans of Slipknot? And that's one of the reasons that I have any inclination to go to Des Moines, because Corey Taylor and the rest of the guys in the band started there. So if people feel really inclined to visit Blacksburg because they're hoping that I will be there and to be the closest they ever get to being close to Noah Kahan, as opposed to several hundred feet away and spoken to through a loudspeaker, then maybe this is something really, really important that I'm doing that gives Blacksburg a sense of belonging, as opposed to just one little stop with several gas stations along an interstate.
Yes. I know I've seen many videos on my TikTok of you performing live, and all of the comments are, "I can't believe you got to see Noah Kahan live. You're so close." I just think it's so funny and it's so cool. how Blacksburg has its own Noah Kahan.
Yeah.
And speaking of like your band and everything, what do you think is next?
For the band, well, first of all, we've got a show tonight at Zeta Psi Fraternity, so I got to be ready for that. And then we've got a show with Lily Franklin this weekend at her one of her campaigns on Henderson Lawn, and that's from like 11 to 12, and I believe 1 to 1:30. Don't quote me on that. And then probably a few other shows, and we'll just see where it goes. It's more or less, very much, take it day by day and week by week.
Yes.
Yeah.
You said you toured in Italy a little bit.
This was like with EF tours. It was like a tour for like American tourists to see a large portion of more northern Italy. So Verona, Venice, Florence. Went to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa, passed by the city of Bologna, saw Pompeii, Rome for a couple days. It's kind of like a general, like open your eyes to what's out there sort of tour. And we learned quite a bit. Saw Vatican City, Sistine Chapel, but I was a teenager. Yeah.
Do you think those experiences are great to have as a teenager?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely good to broaden your horizons with as many different cultures as you possibly can, and to travel as much as you possibly can and or are inclined to do so. I would say don't travel for traveling's sake. Understand what you're interested in, and find your own intrinsic reason to do it. But knowing full well that you're gonna be exposed to people that you would never have encountered in the first place. In the same way that I never really anticipated that I would be getting into Noah Kahan if it weren't for the fact that people said I looked like him, and then I thought, okay, let me see what this guy's like. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful way to put that. And lastly, I think this is the most important question.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite bar on Main Street?
Main Street, not on College Avenue.
Or College Ave, just around Main Street.
I love Top of the Stairs. I've been there for, I love singing there for like 11 years. And that's where the first video was recorded and all that. The Coop is also fairly fun. Let's see, other bars. I guess Hokie House as well. Mm-hmm. Maybe that ranking.
Yes.
Please don't sue me.
I can agree. That's my favorite.
Yeah, I admit I mostly went out for karaoke for years before this blew up. I would basically like sit in the back, sip water, and just wait to perform. So I admit I wasn't much into bar culture before, aside from karaoke, until this blew up.
And I know everyone loves to see that at bars. You get a lot of people coming up to you.
It is wild. It is very wild. Yeah.
This is wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For coming today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
And I'm Madeline Schubert.
I'm Nick Turtillo.
I'm Lukas Swartmalger, also known as Noah Kant.
And thank you for watching VTTV.